The woman deliberately took off her outer garment to reveal her scars. Seeing this, everyone around them was startled. The tycoon, in particular, stared wide-eyed. It was only then that Carl realized that what his wife had done to Lisa was far more than mere bullying, and all of this had been deliberately revealed to him by Lisa, so that the tycoon would see his wife's true colors. Back at home, Anna was still pretending to be the model wife and mother. Little did she know that her husband was so furious he was speechless. If it weren't for their daughter, he might have chosen to divorce her long ago. Meanwhile, Lisa took new action to make Carl leave Anna for good and simultaneously escalate the conflict between him and David. Lisa decided to use the team leader, John. Ever since she was transferred to this school, he had made her life a living hell. He dumped all the work on Lisa alone. More importantly, this guy was a complete pervert. He often made little girls climb up high while wearing skirts, then used a camera to secretly take upskirt photos, and among those girls was Carl's daughter. Meanwhile, David was still decorating a princess-themed room for his biological daughter. In fact, for his daughter's safety, he was even prepared to abandon the dog he'd raised for over a decade. Keep in mind that back then, when Mark didn't clean up the dog's waste properly, David had beaten him to a pulp, yet now he was willing to abandon the dog for his daughter's sake. It seemed he had made up his mind to reclaim what was rightfully his. Just then, Lisa sent the photos from the secret camera. When he saw that his own daughter was among those photographed, he immediately drove to the school. Ignoring everyone's attempts to stop him, David walked straight up to John, grabbed the camera used for the secret photos, and smashed it into the other man's face without hesitation. After taking the memory card inside, he knew the other man would face a hellish punishment. He then beat the man so severely that he couldn't fight back, and only stopped when his daughter appeared. By then, his image in his daughter's eyes was completely ruined. The incident caused quite a stir. Yet Carl, as the father, seemed like an outsider. It wasn't until Lisa called him that he went to the police station to resolve the matter. By then, Carl was seething with anger, but David only added fuel to the fire by insisting that he and he alone must press charges against John, claiming that he was the girl's biological father. Hearing this, Carl flew into a rage instantly. Though he had never resorted to violence before, he decided to teach this bastard right in front of him a lesson. David, who was used to bullying others, was left somewhat at a loss after being beaten. He never expected this frail-looking tycoon to be so skilled in combat. After this encounter, Carl finally came to his senses. He arranged for his daughter to stay at her grandmother's house to avoid David's harassment. Upon hearing the news, Anna confronted him, but Carl had absolutely no desire to deal with her right now. Seeing her pressing him for answers, Carl forced himself to swallow his anger and revealed that David was trying to take his daughter away. He never imagined that the secret between him and David would ultimately be exposed. As he was leaving, he told Anna that regardless of whether she was his biological daughter or not, she would always be his daughter. Their relationship was now completely severed. Even though they hadn't yet divorced, Carl could no longer offer her any help. Anna collapsed to the ground. The financial empire she had always taken pride in crumbled in an instant. In fact, Lisa had once given her a chance to turn herself in to the police, but Anna merely glanced at the note before crumpling it into a ball. Meanwhile, Anna's assistant also had burn marks on her body. Even after 18 years, she still enjoyed bullying the weak just as much as ever. This assistant was also a high school classmate of both of them and had once been Lisa's friend. But because Lisa had been bullied back then, the assistant didn't dare get close to her anymore, and she would later deal Anna a devastating blow. However, the reason Anna wasn't afraid was that she had a trump card. That was Jenny, the middle-aged secret agent. She recognized almost everyone in the photos on Lisa's wall that day, but there was one person she'd never seen before: Jenny's husband. Soon, with the help of a corrupt cop, Anna tracked down Jenny. She immediately sought her out and, using her daughter's safety as leverage, demanded that Jenny help her keep an eye on Lisa. Auntie didn't hesitate and had no choice but to agree. Little did she know that all of this was Lisa's deliberate plan. She had noticed the missing photos long ago and guessed that Anna would definitely go to Auntie, so she had Auntie pretend to betray her. That very night, Jenny took her daughter and went into hiding. Meanwhile, over on the other side, Ella faced a massive crisis. The police had classified Mark's disappearance as the flower case. Furious, she lashed out at Lucy, saying that if Lucy hadn't gone to the police wouldn't have investigated her. At the same time, there was another very strange thing. Mark had called all four of them before he went missing, and specifically mentioned Amy, the first person they had bullied in high school. So Anna sent her corrupt police uncle to investigate, only to discover that the body wasn't at the funeral home, but in a hospital freezer. Originally, they had planned to let the body decompose naturally, so that even if the police investigated later, they'd have no leads. But during the autopsy, Jack's parents discovered that Amy hadn't committed suicide. Out of kindness, they paid out of their own pockets to have the body placed in the freezer. Meanwhile, that year, Amy's mute mother found Lisa and handed her the files on her daughter's case. She had hidden this information at the home of the school nurse from back then, the only person at school who had ever cared about her. Upon learning the full truth about the bullying, The nurse also decided to help Lisa. Jack also told her a shocking secret. Amy had been pregnant before she died. This meant 2 lives were lost in one death. Lisa promised Amy's mother she would avenge her daughter. When Ella mentioned that name, the other 3 all turned to look at Anna. Meanwhile, David's mind was consumed with thoughts of how to get his daughter back. The 5 bullies, who appeared to be in the same boat, actually each had their own ulterior motives. They were all only concerned with their own interests. The next day, Lucy came to Jack's for a beauty treatment. Anna came over to find her. Lucy deliberately mentioned that Lisa had once played Go with her tycoon husband, Carl. As she spoke, her assistant accidentally dropped Lucy's purse on the floor. Anna snatched it up, assuming it was a fake. Seeing how Anna looked down on her, Lucy decided to reveal that this purse was also a gift from her tycoon husband. Anna was furious upon hearing this. She had no idea Lisa was so powerful, sneaking away one person after another from right under her nose. At that moment, she finally realized she was afraid.